Okay, do not start. Hi, everybody. It's Darlene with Featherweight Doctor. Let me just make sure I'm up. Hang on one sec. On Facebook. Is everybody having a good Wednesday? What am I doing? Darlene, what are you doing? I know what you're doing. There. You think it was Monday, friends? Am I on? I'm on. Yay. All right. And I can see what everybody's doing. Well, welcome to Wednesday interview. Hold on, let me show you my title slide. Ah, look at that. Hashtag Boss Babe Shop Talk. Woo! Okay, take that away. All right. So today, if you're there, tell me where you're at so I see you. Tell me where you're watching me from. So today is my interview day. I have friends from across my industry. I have 3 different kind of buckets that I pull from. One would be another colleague, a lady colleague, entrepreneur like myself in the featherweight industry. One would be a shop owner. Another bucket would be a shop owner, another female boss babe in that industry. And then my final bucket, and the bucket that my friend today, my surprise guest today will be joining me from, is what I would call talented end user. But so there's 2 things today that are a little different because this person is actually not a friend. She's a sister, like full blood sister, not like my featherweight sisters. And secondly, she doesn't make her money off of sewing. Sewing is what she does to keep her sanity and for fun. So without further ado, I'm going to bring old twin sister Denice. No, you are not seeing double. Hang on one sec. Let me pull her on. All right, say hi.
Hello, friends. Nice to be with all of you this afternoon on this beautiful day in Seattle.
So let me just make sure I can't see anybody saying anything. So let me just make sure we're actually on here. Hang on. Sorry, guys. I see people on. If you're watching, just comment for me so I can make sure everything. Oh, here's 5 comments. Okay, good. Okay, hold on. There we go. Hi, everybody. I see you now. All right, Becky. Hi, Becky. This is my sister, Denice. We have DSNS from West Virginia. Mom is on. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
And then we have Betsy from Bangor, Maine. Thanks, guys, for giving me a hello. So today I thought this would be kind of fun because Denice and I were semi-connected at the hip. It's not terrible, but it's pretty bad. We talk at least once a day, Denice. What did you say?
Sometimes twice.
Sometimes twice. Drives our husbands.
Crazy.
Especially mine. Really crazy. So we both sew and we both quilt, and we have been doing this for a really long time. Denice makes her money as an accountant. I'm really simplifying that, but you basically are a glorified accountant. But she sews for her sanity. So I find that there is a big pool of people that sew, accountants, attorneys, and engineers really like the math of sewing, and it gives them a place for their brain to settle where they can only focus on that, and therefore it relaxes them. So Denice, why don't you just introduce yourself really quick? Where do you live? How much you love me?
We'll see after this. Not sure, but
those are pretty earrings you have on too, by the way. I wonder who.
Why, thank you. Why, thank you. They were special delivery today. Okay. Hi, guys. Darlene was simplifying it just a little bit, but I am an accountant at heart. I work for T-Mobile, the big telecom company with the big magenta buildings in Seattle. Been there for almost 8 years, and I oversee our corporate accounting function for them. As Darlene explained, I do spend a lot of time working, like most weeks in the neighborhood of 60 to 65 hours a week. And because of that, I have a really hard time shutting my brain off, getting away from my laptop and my screen, which you are all seeing me on today. And it makes my brain and my heart happy to do things with my hands. And although Darlene likes to say that I like to rob the joy
She
from
sucks
quilting,
the fun out of all of the quilting. Tell them why, Denice. Tell them why.
because nothing makes my heart happier than a perfect point. I know that you ladies can totally sympathize with
And
me,
a 1 inch
but
square. A 1 inch square or 350 flying geeses in one quilt.
was there that many in that quilt? There might have been that many in that quilt. Yes, I
Check the
do
photo.
enjoy the technical side of piecing, particularly. And then I share a home in Duval, Washington. It's a small hobby farm. My husband and I live in a big log cabin here on 5 acres. We have horses and barn cats and chessies, oh my, which we all call our four-legged children since we don't have actual children. Darlene had my children for me, thank goodness. So I didn't have to do it. And that's me.
It's funny. She only claims my children when they're behaving themselves. Otherwise, they're
Right.
my children. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So you are actually quite a featherweight enthusiast. I can honestly say that our love affair of them probably started around the same time because we were both starting to take a lot of classes, and everybody knows that one of the best purposes for the featherweight is its portability factor, the 10-pound thing. You can still have a big fat fancy Pfaff, Bernina, whatever. But when you're taking a class or you're heading to a retreat, you don't want to heave that little sucker everywhere. You actually, folks, you will think this is funny. Denice has more featherweights in her personal collection than I have in mine. What? So I have 6, and mine are, like collectible and like, well, they're kind of fancy. My ugly tan one will be fancy someday, but she's not right now. But Denice, I was actually, you can't really see her too much because she's has them in front of the window, but she pulled out a bunch of them. And so there's 4 behind her and 5 more. That's a total of 9 featherweights in her house. And I thought it would be kind of fun for her to tell us her favorite kind of acquisition story. So tell us where you found your favorite one. Oh, Uncle Jerry's watching. Hi, Uncle Jerry.
Oh, hi, Uncle Jerry. Well, I have to say, Darlene's right. We've been collecting them over the same period of time, and it only took one sewing retreat that Darlene and I went on where I damaged my my Bernina to understand that I needed to find something that was smaller and more portable. And then I know you ladies feel the same way, that when you start piecing on a featherweight, especially for quilt tops, you will never find another machine that sews that perfect stitch. It doesn't matter how much you spend on your Berninas, because that's what I have outside of my featherweights. These things sew the perfect little stitch. So I have to say some of my favorite acquisition stories involve my dear husband, because Mr. Treasure Hunter has gotten involved with the acquisition of the
he's
beloved.
A source for me, people. He's a source.
Oh my goodness, of the beloved 221. So my favorite one to tell is we were a number of years ago, we were garage sailing, because what do all couples do on weekends but go out and garage sale looking for the best deal?
Yeah.
And we were in our own hometown. I mean, we do garage sale all over the country, wherever we are, but we were in our own hometown in a small neighborhood close to us. And I remember being a little irritated at the time, but honestly, I can't remember why. And I hopped out of the truck.
Moody. I'm the nice one, folks.
I might be moody, everyone. I'm not sure, but I hopped out of the truck and I perused quickly the yard sale. Didn't see anything of any interest to me. Hopped back in the truck. Maybe I was irritated because my husband was on the phone. He was on the phone and he got off the phone, and then he decides to hop out. and peruse the yard sale. And I'm waiting in the truck. And all of a sudden I look over and he has what appears to be a featherweight box in his hand, which y'all are going to hate me right now because I missed it completely. Oh, I'm so ashamed of myself.
Well, at least
and then this
your great machine hunter was there with you. He wasn't going to miss it.
And then he hands the woman one bill. And I'm far enough away where I can't see what bill it is.
Was it 100?
Was it 100? Was it
a 5?
What was it? And I'm thinking, and now my brain starts clicking away because I'm like, is that a box? And he just gave her one bill for a box, or is that a full? What is that? And I'm looking.
You sound like you micromanage Dave.
He's not listening, everyone. So he jumps in the truck and he doesn't look at me and he goes, "Don't make any eye contact." And he slams the door and he turns the truck on and he zooms away. And I'm like, what did you do? And I said, what did you hand her? And he said, a 20. Because the kicker was, not only did he hand her a bill, he got change back. Like, she gave him money back. And I thought, so I'm like, a 20. I said, did you just find a really nice box? And he starts laughing out loud. And he says, no, I just picked up an entire machine for $15.
Aww.
So he gave her 20 and he got a 5 back. And I'm like, what is wrong with it? And he said,
that's amazing.
Well, the tensioner looks a little messed up, but we can buy one of those from certain people.
I don't know who you could buy that from.
That was my best acquisition story, but I have 2 machines behind me. So my little treasure hunter also likes to sort through automobile swap meets. Now, I don't know if you ladies have ever had a husband that drags you to these fairgrounds in the middle of nowhere and you spend the entire day looking through car parts that you have no idea what they're for. But I did pick up 2 featherweights, special ones too, at a automobile swap meet in Monroe, Washington. So I picked up.
Look, it's a little white one, guys.
I picked up this cute little 64.
Is she cute?
Little mint baby. She's so adorable. And then I also picked up my 10.
Everybody's going to swoon because the 10s are so hard to find.
And then how much did I pay for both of these machines? Because the man who was selling them with all of his automobile parts had no idea what they were.
$1,000.
Have I mentioned that I'm also a complete cheapskate? No.
We have that in common.
Yeah. I paid $200 for both of those machines.
He probably thought he scored too.
I got him off this little grandma. She said they had just been serviced. And of course, I opened them up. They run like a charm. The tan one may not be so pretty, but she hums, baby, better than any other of the machines I have. So
yeah,
score.
She did. I tell them the most you've ever paid and why, because you were showing me that one today.
So I'm not very proud of myself for this because, ladies, there was no treasure hunt here. So where was I? Right. I was a couple of years ago.
Arizona.
No,
in that antique store.
No, this was in Soap Lake, Washington. Dave and I were in an antique store, treasure hunting, and they had a pre-war. Now, all of my machines, except for this one, are post-war. And I know Darlene has told you about the pre-war because they have the really pretty scroll work.
Isn't she pretty?
And I really wanted one bad. And you can tell.
Look how shiny she is.
Fantastic condition.
I saw her in person today. She's really shiny.
So, and she also sews like a dream. So I picked up her, and she's a 39, and a matching featherweight table, like an actual table, which are pretty hard to come by actually, for $500. So that
That's
shot
not
everything
bad.
else.
It's still a good deal. I mean, it's a
This
good
was
deal considering how good of a condition she's in too.
she's in
So
really good condition.
one of the things I noticed when I was helping Denice today was that she needs to take a little bit better care of her machines. I'm going to shame you on my little. I was like, this one
It
really
swings
stinks,
you.
Denice. Have you changed the oil drip pan out? She's like, no.
I clearly need to take someone's spa class and bring a couple of them with me.
And not come to work, you mean?
Right. She makes me work, you guys.
I do. So if you ever are lucky enough to come to one of my local shows, Denice sometimes is my right hand gal in the booth. She knows a lot about the machines and sewing, and she's obviously very good with money because she's an accountant. And so I rope her into coming. If you were lucky enough to join us at the expo this past February before everything got shut down, Denice was there with me, and we were freaking everybody out. I mean, everybody kept coming up to her thinking she was me, and I had the doctor's coat on, and Denice would go, "Oh, I think you want to talk to Darlene about that. She's the one in the doctor's coat." It was fun though. And last year she saved my tail when I tried to cut my finger off
Oh my goodness.
the night before a big show in Everett, Washington at a convention center. And Denice sprang into action and helped me get all my boots set up. And I had surgery like the day after the show was over with. And she was amazing. And I will never be able to thank her for all of the help that she's given me so far. So
Sisters are so awesome.
they really are. And she looks just like my daughter too, which is, people say my daughter looks like me, but actually Ray looks like Denice. So that's kind of fun too.
The shop assistant's really mine. Don't tell anyone.
So what was the last, have you made any quarantine quilts on your Featherweight, or what was the last time? Oh wait, first tell them about Dolores. You have to tell me that first one.
My very first machine, her name is Dolores. She's a 49.
Oh, she's like, I gotta show her to you.
I had, this was my very first one I ever picked up. And like I said, it was in response to going to a ladies quilting retreat with Darlene and then damaging my big machine. And she also sews well. I mean, the nice thing about having the Featherweight Doctor as a sister is I have a source when I need stuff. So
a pusher. She calls me a pusher.
She's the pusher, totally. So that's Dolores. She's my first machine. I have so many other ones. I tried naming a few of them, and then it got very confusing.
You have 9 children in your orphanage, Denice. That's a lot.
And clearly, they all need to be maintenance, cleaned up.
Ladies, she's letting them sit. Remember we talked about letting them sit is bad for them?
I was really embarrassed when Darlene came over and was like, yeah, these are filthy. And this one stinks. So we're going to have to rectify that.
I will say that I might have 6 in my personal collection, and I probably have about another 20 or so in my regular inventory, but all of them have been serviced and gone through and do not stink anymore. So
yeah, no, bad Denice, bad Denice.
My hope though is to forward what I have on out of my collection, and Denice is not letting go of hers. I've tried several times to get her to sell me. I'll double her money. She paid $15. I'll give her $30. Like I think that's like an excellent,
especially not my $15 machine. I'm not doing it.
So she has me beat by about, for best price on machine, because I think the least I've ever paid for a machine was $35 at a garage sale. And it was the same thing, Denice. I didn't even see it. Andy saw it. And he practically didn't even let the car stop and put it in park before he jumped out of the car.
Yeah.
And kind of casually shuffled up to the guy and was like, so
yeah,
tell me about
don't
that
make eye contact
box on the floor. And
don't say a word and don't make eye contact.
Don't make eye contact.
Somebody's going to see what I'm doing.
It actually is getting harder. I feel like, especially since quarantine, everybody's sewing. Like everybody's sewing. I can't
Yeah.
tell you how many machines I have sent out of the orphanage. I mean, thank you for supporting my business friends. Really, it's been amazing. But it's really obvious that people are sewing. They want to sew on something simple. They don't want to pull out their engineering cap and put it on and figure out how to drop their feed dogs or change their stitch length or whatever. And it's been kind of exciting. And the machines though are getting harder to find. I think in the next couple of years, we're going to see a price increase, a drastic price increase. And I think even before the virus and the quarantine and all of that, I was having a really good conversation with a curator of a vintage sewing machine museum in Tulsa, Oklahoma, when I was there for a conference. And he was telling me that year over year since the sewing machine had been invented, that less and less sewing machines were being made every year after the initial ramp up. But as of the last 5 years, finally there are being more machines made year over year. So sewing in and of itself is experiencing a bit of an increase in people spending time doing that. But then the featherweight in particular is truly experiencing what I'm calling a renaissance, because people just have so much technology in their lives, infiltration with their washers and dryers that you can operate from your cell phone. Your refrigerator can order your groceries based on a picture of what's in your refrigerator. And people, when they want to sew, they just want to sit down at something simple and even might have some nostalgic feelings of sitting down with their grandmother when they were little. And so people have been seeking these out to add to their collections and to use on a daily basis. So that's kind of fun. Let's see, we have some comments here. Hi, Annette from Kansas. How are you?
Kansas! Yay!
Becky, my friend Becky in Kennydale, Texas, said that her first featherweight was in 1939. Also, her name is Clara, which I think is pretty cute.
Oh, that's pretty.
And then Becky also said that her and her husband hit garage sales every single weekend. That's one of the things that like COVID-19 has really messed up, is that no one's having any garage sales. This is like the perfect season because it's springtime and we're all, Lord knows, we are all cleaning out our closets and, getting things organized in garage sales. I imagine Goodwill and Value Village and St. Vincent de Paul will all be overflowing by the time, we're finally in a phase in which they can open.
It's going to be awesome.
Yay! Epic garage sale.
Epic.
So you've recently put together, it's been a little bit since you put together a quilt, but you recently were working on one when you were out of town. It had diamonds on it. How far did you get?
I've got, I think, half of the blocks put together for that quilt. We just finished a remodel in our cabin. So I've been working on a new bed quilt for the bedroom. I also made a few masks. Thank you, Darlene, for showing me how to do that. And of course, my Featherweight's my go-to travel machine. So that's been there helping me all along. Although
might have to
angled
pick one
diamond
to live in the other house.
There is one.
Oh,
so do I have more?
So you have 10?
Sweet Lord. Yes, I died. If I didn't bring it home, it's still there. I just remembered.
Okay.
Okay, I might have a little bit of a problem, but don't intervention me.
So friends, if you have too many featherweights, if you call it a collection, they can't call you a hoarder.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Yes, but you do need to take them all out and at the very least run them so that the motor doesn't congeal and harden up, and then you're replacing the motor. Right. I don't want to do that. So
right.
All right. Well, I just wanted to say thank you to Denice for joining me today and introducing herself to my bigger audience, I should say. You definitely have met a lot of my local featherweight friends. So I guess I will see you later on. But for my friends joining me online, I should be on Friday for my Friday night sip and sew. I have finished one. Okay, sorry, Denice. Hold on one second.
I was ready.
Oh, no, we're not sipping. Yeah, that's Friday.
We're not doing that. We have to wait till Friday for that.
So I have finished 9 of my colorway, or of this one colorway on my blocks, and I have the next 8 in the next colorway ready to go. So that is absolutely what I will be working on next Friday. But I just want to thank everybody for joining me, and I hope everybody has a great evening. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, Denice.
Bye.